How's it going, YouTube? This is Pub Stomp MTG making a video about Xenagos God of Revels and sort of a guideline-based strategy you want to follow. And there are many different options you can lead to. This is my personal favorites of how to run Xenagos. And first of all, you're probably wondering, why should I run Xenagos? Well, if you're the type of person that loves big, beefy creatures and beating face on your opponents, this might be the perfect commander for you. Xenagos really loves his creatures. I read on his text, he's a legendary creature god. He has indestructible. As long as your devotion to red and green is less than 7, Xenagos isn't a creature. At the beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature you control gains haste and gets +X until end of turn, where X is that creature's power. Essentially, if you want to play big creatures, they become even bigger, which I absolutely love. And Xenagos is a personal favorite of mine because he's actually the first commander I've actually ever built from. Knowing me from back in the day of Zendikar, I was searching for commanders in Battle for Zendikar, and I saw Xenagos, and I just loved playing big creatures, and he was a perfect fit for those creatures as well, to helm as my commander. Alright, before we get into the meat and potatoes of some of the strategies you'd want to put in, I wanted to talk about Quick Ramp. And why I specifically want to focus on Quick Ramp is because we want to get Xenagos out as fast as we can to turn in all our creatures into big, beefy beaters. So in order to do that, we have 3 categories, which is Artifact Ramp, Creature Ramp, and Land-Based Ramp. Obviously, you don't have to include all of these because of budgetary restrictions, like Mana Crypt, Jeweled Lotus, or even Ragavan as well. However, they do really help speed the process of getting your creatures out and turning them into even bigger creatures. So some of the artifact ramp we do have is Soul Ring, Mana Crypt, Arcane Signet, and Jeweled Lotus, which really help accelerate probably the most for Xenagos to come out, usually turn 1. Beware though, that will make you a threat right away, as if you see a commander come out in turn 1, usually that means problems. However, we do have Creature Ramp as well. We have Llanowar Elves, Endhorn Elves, and Elvish Mystic. Also, we do have Ragavan as well in there. I like to include him in there because he is a treasure-producing creature as well as a card advantage engine, which I really do like about him. We do have our land-based ramp, such as Nature's Lore, 3 Visits, Farseek, and Sakura Tribe Elder. For me, it's all personal preference, because I do like the low 2 CMC ramp engines. However, if you feel like you want to put a Cultivate or a Kodama's Reach, you have no faults in there as well. The other kind of basics I want to talk about other than ramp is also card draw. I find in a lot of games when playing Xenagos, you have a lot of heat coming out. You have the big boy swinging in, but what happens when you have removal? How are you going to refill your hand and continually beating face? There's a lot of options in card draw, especially with Powers Matters card draw options. We have Life's Legacy, Return of the Wildspeaker, Momentous Fall, and Greater Good, which all really help you out to refill your hand while having your big beefy creatures out. There's also more card draw options as well, such as Great Henge, Rishkar's Expertise, Hunter's Insight, and Jessica's Will. Also, what's great about Jessica's Will is it's a ritual effect, which will help you get your creatures out as well. Alright, now we get to the boys. This is my favorite part of the deck, due to the mobility and freedom you do have to choose certain options. These cards I find to be either pet cards or overperformers in the deck. Cards like Galta, Primal Hunger, Kogla, and Atali are definitely overperformers due to either high power or Kogla's versatility of destroying artifacts and enchantments, and Itali's crazy ability. We do have cards like Godzilla, King of Monsters, and Apex Devastator, which are more of pet cards for me. Balefire Dragon will help remove the board and keep swinging away with your dragon continually, wiping out the board. You also have Malignus, which is absolutely insane, where his power is equal to the highest, half of the highest life total among your opponents rounded up. So essentially, doubling that equals to their highest life total. So, as you can see, that will be really insane with Xenagos. And also, what do you want to do with all those creatures, especially when someone's trying to remove one of those? Well, you fling them away. Cards like Fling and Kazul's Fury really do a good job of doing more damage on your opponents. There was one time where I had a Galta, which was like a 24-24. I swung it at somebody, dealt 24 damage, then on top of that, flung it over at them on top of that. So dealing 48 damage was definitely a really awesome feat that I do want to do again. There are definitely some ways to abuse Xenagos' ability to double the power of your creatures. My personal way is extra combats. Going over some of the extra combat spells such as World at War, Seize of the Day, Savage Beating, and Relentless Assault are really good options to get those extra combat triggers and doubling the double of your creature. So, for example, if you had an extra combat, your Galta, which was a 24-24, would turn into a 48-48, and so on and so forth the more combats you add on. Also, I do have extra combat creatures, which are also effective as well. We have Scourge of the Throne, Combat Celebrant, Port Razor, and Morag, Fury of Akum. Built-in extra combats on creatures are really good as well, because unlike spells where they are only cast once, these are repeatable. Now, since we talked about both creatures and spells, here are some infinite combat tricks that you could do. We have the Mana Sinks first, which are Aggravated Assault and Hellkite Charger, which all sink in mana to do those extra combats. And what better way to get extra mana by the mana producers, such as Old Gnawbone, which contributes an insane amount of treasure every time you deal damage with all creatures. They have the Eternal same way in Savage Ventmaw, which you gain 3 red and 3 green mana when attacking. And with those, you can sink those manas into infinite combats. In discussion of infinite combos, I have one of my favorite combos in the deck on the screen right here. We have Selvala, Heart of the Wilds, and Staff of Domination. What happens is when you tap Selvala, Heart of the Wilds, you add X mana in any combination of colors to your mana, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. This does require you to have a creature with power 7 or greater. Then what happens is you use Staff of Domination to untap target creature with that mana you used to untap Selvala, Heart of the Wilds, creating an infinite loop for mana. Then what you can do is you could draw out your whole library by drawing a card and untapping Staff of Domination with all that infinite mana, and then pouring all that infinite mana to Finale of Devastation, which you could then play out all your creatures with all that infinite mana and then do a crazy amount of damage to your wildest dreams. To wrap up everything, I have to say Xenagos has to be one of my favorite commanders of all time, mainly due to the Timmy in me and loving to play big creatures. I have very fond memories in my LGS and it with friends playing Xenagos and winning through crazy combat steps and also flinging damage at them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I am a relatively new channel and all the support you give me would be wonderful. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe me, and have a wonderful day. To wrap up everything, I have to say Xenagos has to be one of my favorite commanders of all time. Mainly due to the Timmy in me and loving to play big creatures. I have very fond memories in my LGS and it with friends playing Xenagos and winning through crazy combat steps and also flinging damage at them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I am a relatively new channel and all the support you give me would be wonderful. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe me, and have a wonderful day.